Hey, Josh here from Lorgasm, and today let's talk about Boba Fett, the greatest bounty hunter in the known galaxy. So now that Mandalorian Season 2 is over, there was the after credit scene in Episode 8, where Boba Fett walks into Jabba's palace with Fennec and murders Bit Fortuna. Was actually played by the actor who portrayed him in The Phantom Menace. Fun fact. But now, what do you think is next for Boba? Me personally, I think there's a couple routes they can go for him. So option one, he takes over the throne and he cleans up Tatooine, like gets rid of the slaves, takes care of it, kind of like how Grief Karga and Cara Dune did for Navarro. Just try to get it all better, maybe like teach the slaves, have them go to like school and all that, have it run like a normal society. As much as Boba Fett seemed like he was being the good guy in this season, I don't think that's the way it's going. I think he was just trying to do what he had to do to get his armor back and follow a code that he probably set for himself. Maybe he's changed a little bit in the 5 years since Return of the Jedi, when he was originally thought dead.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
But I don't think he's changed that much. Like he might have been humbled, but I don't think he was like to the point where he changed his whole character, because he's still a badass. That is 100% a fact. The way he was beating the stormtroopers with the gaffy stick, freaking beautiful. Option number two, he just kinda just sits around, does spice like Jabba did, get a bunch of cronies to come around, hang out, maybe get Max Rebo in there, have his band play, maybe get fat like Bit Fortuna did. But this one I doubt too. Like, I don't feel like he's just gonna sit around and do nothing. He's got a purpose. He has a purpose. There would have been no reason for him to take over the palace if he didn't have the purpose. So that brings me to option three. Option three would be get the Bounty Hunters Guild going on Tatooine and be like the new leader of the Bounty Hunters Guild. I see this as kind of likely. He is a bounty hunter, obviously. He has connections all over the galaxy. I feel like he could probably pull it off. He doesn't really have to worry about the Empire hunting him down and killing him. I mean, yes, there's obviously remnants of the Empire still around, but they're not actively hunting down him. Nobody tried to decommission him because he's a clone. And obviously Vader in Empire and Return of the Jedi would have known that he was a clone by his voice alone, because he worked alongside clones throughout the Clone Wars, and he knows Boba Fett's name, and he knew who Jango Fett was. So obviously he knows there's a connection. So if they wanted to take him out, they probably could have tried. don't know if they necessarily could have. Maybe Vader could have, like, if he wanted to get his hands dirty, which we know he's not afraid to do, they could have took him out. So he's got connections everywhere. Now, this scenario I see as more likely than the other two for sure. Like, way more likely, obviously. But I think my option number 4 is probably the most likely candidate for what we're going to see him doing. And that is becoming a crime lord. He's going to take over Tatooine. I don't know if he's going to start his own syndicate. Maybe have the Mythosaur skull as like their logo. Have a whole new crime syndicate. That would be so dope. We might see him fighting other Hutts wanting to come in and take power. Obviously, if there was more Hutts wanting to take power, though, they probably would have came and attacked Bib Fortuna, but they didn't. Now the question there is, was Bib Fortuna holding the spot? Because obviously he's worked with the Hutts. They probably know him as like a good servant, so maybe they were having him as a placeholder until they got a Hutt ready to take over Tatooine. If that's the case, maybe the Hutt cartel are going to send a new Hutt boss to try to take over and fight Boba Fett. That would be cool. That would be also weird to see a Hutt fight. How would that happen? They're essentially giant slugs, so I don't know. But it would be cool if they link that up and bring Jabba the Hutt's son, Rhoda / Stinky, in to try to take over. But then, this is when we get the third entry into the fight. Now enters players 3 and 4. Cobb Vanth and his young Huttling that he's taking care of named Borgo. Now, maybe Cobb Vanth will want to try to take over with Borgo, even though he's still training him, but it's been about 5 years since he's been taking care of him. I don't know the age cycle of a Hutt, so maybe he's already like teenage age, or maybe he's still young, I don't know. You know, Grogu's 50 and he's still a baby. So I don't know exactly how Hutts age. If anybody does know, leave that in the comments. Cobb Vanth and Borgo could try to take the throne. That would be cool. So it would be Boba Fett versus Hutt Cartel versus Cobb Vanth and Borgo. And then I'm pretty sure the Beastmaster that used to have the Rancor still lives in Freetown with Cobb Vanth. That would have been cool if they actually showed him in episode 9, the Marshal. Maybe taking care of the Banthas, or maybe he had like a different creature that he was like raising that they could take into the battle, but they didn't show him that I know of. They might have. He might be one of those background characters that nobody's just picked up that it was him yet. Having these 3 battling, that would be a great premise for the story, or for the series. Story, it's a book. And this, I feel, is probably the most likely, maybe not all the details in it with Cobb Vanth or with the Hutt Cartel, but most likely he will be a crime lord, and it will be glorious, because he is literally a badass. Alright, that's all I have for you today, so if you can like, comment, and subscribe, that would be awesome, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.